Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, dear listeners and viewers. Welcome to another episode of Beauty Lies podcast. Today, we are joined by another guest who I will allow to introduce themselves, and they're going to share with us a variety of things. So, let me let me give them the floor. Welcome.
Thank you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. This is going to be a very short episode, and we will talk about empathy. It's a subject that's been very near to my heart over the past years, and it's a subject I've been very passionate sharing about. And you would wonder why and what is empathy. So today we're living in a very busy world where we're running from A to B to C to D and just running. Big cities, people have a lot to do, work, study, and there remains minimal time for human connection. And from one perspective, we can say we are all connected. And so, specifically, what I mean is interaction with presence. So, for sure, many of you have this experience of wanting to share something and then not having the space for that, or wanting to go deeper into a conversation. And many of our conversations in today's world, whether it is at the workplace or at the dinner table at home or pretty much anywhere, they have this tendency of be very much surface level interactions, a lot of small talk. So my vision is to create spaces where people can feel at ease to interact in authenticity, safety, presence, where basically anything that wants to be shared has the potential of being shared. So, empathy. When I think of our interactions, listening, I recognize the possibility of listening with two intentions. So, it might be so that a friend is coming to us and they are sharing an issue, a problem, a challenge that they have in life, and what they want is they want our input. So they're going to share something and then they want us to give our opinion, give them an advice. So, issue, solution, one type of listening. Then there are also spaces when a friend comes to us, they don't need a solution. Maybe they already have the solution or they are not interested in a solution and they've been just carrying something and they want a safe space, a friend who will just listen for the sake of listening without any agendas, not listening to respond, not listening to correct, not listening to give advice, input, opinion, not listening to fix you, not listening to change you, but just giving you their unconditional presence so that whatever wants to be shared can be shared. And again, when we are sharing something, we can have different intentions behind sharing it, different needs. So it can be so that we want to share something, and the need is I have this burning issue. I want to solve it as soon as possible. I want input. But there also might be that I'm having this emotional challenge, and it will feel helpful to share it with somebody who will just listen and be a neutral space. So, empathy, it is about sharing our human experience with another as humans. So, having a encounter of humans. And empathy is about being part of another's experience. And it seems to be helpful to connect on an emotional level, which so to get an insight into one another's experience through the emotions the person is feeling. We all know how it is to be a human, hopefully, most of us at least. And we can relate how it feels to feel sadness, joy, frustration, and so on. And so, if we are listening to somebody without agendas, we have an empty mind and we can listen to the emotions that they are sharing from. What is their emotional state? So, if somebody's telling us a story or an experience they're going through, to just tune in, what are they feeling? And it becomes relatable to us because we know how it feels to feel a certain emotion. So we can empathize, we can sympathize with their experience. And the second point is to listen to their need or their intention behind sharing it. So it has to do with, is the focus on us or is the focus on the other person? So in daily life, we have the tendency of having the focus in between, sometimes more on ourselves. So it becomes about us, about how to respond to person, about um, how to turn it around to make it about ourselves and share our ideas. However, when it comes to empathy, we want the focus to be, as a listener, we want the focus to be on the other person. And so we have that clear space and we can listen to the emotion and to the intention and need. So, what can be a person's need when they are sharing? If they are speaking and we hear that they are sharing from a place of sadness, what can be their need? Maybe it is to be heard in a non judgmental space. And maybe their need is to resolve what they are going through. And in another part of our interaction, we might ask them if they are open for input. However, empathy is that space where the intention is not to give input or fix the person, but just to give them our unconditional presence. So I feel I've shared enough about empathy. And from here on, we can make a demonstration of what empathy is. What do you think about that?
It's a good idea.
Okay. So we'll do it in two parts. One of us will be the listener, and the other one will be sharing. And I'll throw in a question. So the listener will throw in a question, and the person sharing will have the space to answer it. And I will time us. And the invitation is to speak and keep going until the time actually runs out. So I will start by being the listener. and you start by sharing. And the question is, what are you grateful for? And the invitation is to take one or two things and go deeper into sharing about them. However, if you feel you're running out of things to say, feel free to just go into more. So, what are you grateful for?
I am grateful for two things came to mind when you asked that. So I'm grateful for myself and my life. And the second thing I'm grateful for is uh, God, but specifically the the version of God that I worship. That's a thing. And since we had this discussion yesterday, that's where my mind went to. What I'm grateful for Viraji, for Narasimha. So I am grateful. So let me start with myself. How much time do I have? Or it doesn't matter. Okay, cool. So I can just talk. I'm grateful for myself because of my bravery. I am grateful for my patience, my persistence, um, my boldness. Did I say that? I love, or is the same? Is it the same thing? I love that I am unrelenting, and people say I'm resilient, and I am grateful for those character traits, and they come from the experiences that I've gone through in life. And therefore, I'm grateful for the experiences that I've gone through in life because they brought me to this point that I'm talking about what I'm grateful for. Then there have been many experiences. I say I'm living many lifetimes in this one lifetime. That's what I say. Um, I am grateful for health, very, very grateful for health. I'm grateful for wealth. I'm very wealthy. I am grateful for the resources that I have. I am grateful for family. I have a very loving, very supportive family, which has had to be made. It's something that I've had to work through for it to get here. Uh-huh. Um, so all those things encompass my life. Yeah. So that's why I'm grateful for life. You said we go deeper, but now I'm looking at what makes up what I can say is my life. I'm grateful for my friends. I have very genuine friends. They are the same thing. It has had to be worked on. But at least I'm grateful that I have people, human beings who I can count on, who can support me, who support me in my endeavors, in my crazy endeavors. Uh-huh. What else am I grateful for? Okay, enough. Then I'm grateful for Viranara Simha because I'm grateful for God who, for me, has come in the form of, I could say many things, but I'll just stick to Viranara Simha because I'm grateful that I get to serve him. I'm grateful that I get to have a personal relationship with him. I'm grateful that I get to have my dramas with God and I don't feel judged for it and I feel understood and I feel accepted. Oh, that this is making me emotional. The other one was just fine. This is interesting. I'm grateful that the one thing I used to long for, which is a relationship with God, has actually come to fruition. Like now I have a relationship. I really used to want that. Now I have it. So I'm grateful for that, a relationship with God. I am grateful for God again, or to God for giving me my guru. Now I am grateful by extension to my guru, or for my guru because he has allowed for that relationship to manifest. With I don't think that if I didn't have my guru, I would have the relationship I have with God right now. Yeah. Mm. The opportunity. I'm grateful for the opportunity to serve, the opportunity to love, the opportunity to learn and experience what service is, what love is. Yes. You're making me become very philosophical. Am I done? I'm tired of talking, which is a new one. I never thought I would be tired of talking. Cool. I'm grateful for. Uh, I'm done. I don't have anything else. I'm grateful for happiness and joy. That's true. I'm grateful for the fact that I know the difference between joy and happiness. And joy is more deep and it's more inherent. It arises from deep inside. And I've gotten the opportunity to feel it. And yes, I'm happy. Sometimes I'm not. So happiness is very fleeting. So I'm happy. I'm grateful for the ability to distinguish joy from happiness and the fact that I'm grateful for the fact that I feel joyful quite a lot of times. I think all the time I'm joyful. I'm grateful for wisdom. I said I'm grateful for health, wealth, wisdom, joy, family, friends, God, my guru, who is top of the list. But anyway, um, wisdom is because the reason why I'm able to make this conversation is because of all the experiences that I've gone through, the experiences, the lessons, the the knowledge to synthesize what I'm saying and to also live through it. So that's also why I'm grateful for wisdom and knowledge, of course. Not information, just knowledge. Yeah. Also information, but I'm grateful for wisdom. Yeah, that's it, man. I mean, I'm sure there are other things, but you said not to stretch them. So I'm trying to go deep. So I see how I'm grateful for my life, for all those things. I'm grateful to God for all those things. Yes, I insist that I'm done. Yeah, this is where I keep quiet. I'm good. I feel like I've mentioned everything. Oh, okay. Maybe I can also say I'm grateful for experiences, both positive and negative. But that comes from the wisdom, I think. That's encompassed in the wisdom. Because my man is all asking me, what about the days when things are not going well? And I'm like, it's still fine because that's the wisdom bit. I'm able to utilize those experiences to still serve me in the lessons or in the fortitude and in the characteristics that I have gained. Yeah. Now I'm just gonna start chanting in my heart until you start talking. But I feel very safe to keep talking, but I'm good now. Now I'm gonna start chanting.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you as well for allowing me to share so openly.
So if we just notice, and I kept the silence for another 2 minutes on purpose because it is okay to sit in silence. And as we sit in silence, the conversation is still ongoing. Sometimes silence speaks so much more than words. And if we have an extensive amount of time when somebody's sharing and we are just listening, there are so many processes that are happening in that silence. Just an example, if only one person gets to be speaking, knowing they will not be interrupted, and the other person will be only listening, knowing they have no other agenda in their life than listening for the next few minutes. A few processes happen. One of them, our brainwaves slow down. We go from high brainwaves, maybe somewhere in high beta, to just more creative and intuitive states. Our brainwaves go down to alpha or maybe even theta. And that's the gateway to creativity and intuition. we also tune into our heart space. It might be so that in the beginning of our shares, we're just sharing and sharing, but then we're taking a pause and just taking a moment to notice what is it that wants to be shared in this very moment? What is alive in me in this moment rather than what I wanted to share yesterday or even 1 minute ago? What is alive in me in this moment? And that is a really cool exploration. So as I got you sharing for a few minutes, I'll do the same. Feel free to ask me the question, what am I grateful for? And then I'll start sharing. And in the meantime, your only focus is to receive what I'm sharing while being present with it.
Okay. So, what are you grateful for?
I'm grateful for the opportunity to come here and share with you and anybody that will be listening because I feel empathy is such an underrated thing. We have time for so many things, and yet we have so little time to connect as humans and just to listen and be present with one another in an authentic space. And authentic space includes it is okay to feel what you're feeling in the moment. It is okay to share what you want to share in the moment rather than talking about the past or or about the future, to just talk from the place of let me just take a moment, tune into the heart, and share whatever wants to be shared now. And if that is talking about the future or the past, that is fine. But it's coming from that deep place in the heart. Like, hey, this is what feels alive in me in this moment. And this is what I want to express right now. And then it does not have to even be commented on. Was expressed, gone. We go on with life. So I'm grateful for the opportunities to be in those spaces, to create them, to share them. I'm also grateful. There is something that moved within me and that just popped into my mind again as you were sharing. And that is our attitude to life. Are we truly, authentically joyful wherever we go to just, heck yeah, I'm going there because I really want to be there. I'm talking to this person because I really want to be there. I feel this flow of life happening through me because I truly, truly, truly want it. From the place of, I would not be anywhere else in the universe. Like, this is the space where I would be in this moment. And again, it is a reminder for me of the heart space. So many times we say yes to something, but without truly feeling the yes. We say it to please the person or because we have the belief it is the right thing to do. Or we say no out of fear of something, but we feel this nervous feeling, this butterflies in our belly. And sometimes we just say no because, yeah, for some reason we say no. And as a result of this, engage in life from the place of the mind. Like, it is the right thing to go there. It is the right thing to do this thing. Or it is the wrong thing, although I have a feeling, but it is the wrong thing. And it was just a sentence he said, but it moved within me this reminder to be aware, what am I doing from the heart? And to just be very aware of what is happening inside of me and how alive does something feel. As soon as we're done here, I'm going to the forest to take I walk there barefoot because that's what feels alive in me. I feel this flow of aliveness when I think about it. And I feel grateful to be aware of what I am feeling and to be aware that it's flowing from the heart. And I feel also grateful for my ability to say yes to that and take action upon that. And by doing so, amplify the voice of the heart. This is what feels alive. Heck yeah, I'm going for it. And by doing so, increase the voice of aliveness. Slowly, slowly, it becomes higher and higher every time we say yes to it. I also feel grateful for your presence. The fact that we can just, the fact that I don't know what I'm going to say and I can just open my mouth, allow words to flow without having certain expectation of saying something. And that again is me relaxing in this moment and just slowing down and slowing down into what wants to be shared here and now. I feel also really grateful for the place where we are sitting now and the I actually didn't know this place existed. And I'm amazed that we can just come here and shoot and then share with the people, and that the ones responsible for the place are supportive to people coming, doing podcasts. So there are so many reasons to be grateful for in life. And actually, the reason of sharing what we are grateful for me, is not just about making a mental list, but actually about what the list can be a tool to that feeling of gratitude. And it takes practice to tune into it, to actually feel that rush of gratitude through us. And it's one of the most beautiful things. It's a very similar frequency to the one of unconditional love. And if that one is hard to tune into, to start tuning into gratitude can be helpful. And so every time I have this opportunity of feeling grateful, I'm feeling grateful for that itself.
Mm.
As I look around, I see the small plants around us, although they are fake. What do you think? They're not real plants. But they are still green and they're making the place. It's very colorful. I'm sitting on a yellow chair. I noticed you're sitting on a blue one. Then we have a red one. We have the filming equipment. We have the white lights. Yeah, I feel great to slow down and just be able to notice all of this diversity. We have a gray blue carpet, gray black wall, white black camera, a green Wi Fi light. Feels cool to just say all of this.
Mhm.
I feel so grateful for life. I'm playing with this idea of living life one day at a time, which means I'm waking up. I have my time frame is until I go to bed. And there might be certain things inside of me that I want to express. There might be certain things that I want to experience, certain things that I want to do, certain conversations I want to have, and that is my time frame. So I'm playing with the idea that all the time I've got is until I'm going to sleep. And then afterwards, we never know what happens. So this gives me the feeling of urgency to just do what I want to do and do it before sleep. Otherwise, we don't know what's happening. So if it is my personal development, my spiritual path, if it is um, something unexpressed that I just remember, hey, I wish I would have said that to my family member. Give them a call, do it on the spot. There is a person I want to meet, just we might not be able to coordinate, but just to give it a try. to live from that place of some kind of urgency so things move forward. And I'm grateful that I could just talk about the colors of the room and then just follow up by this. And again, have that reminder. My sharing time is over. Thank you for listening.
It was actually relaxing listening to you. That was the experience I felt. You're right, the mind slows down quite a bit and it's present in whatever you're sharing. I like that. I'm grateful that I get to do a job that I get to listen a lot. Yeah.
And I notice this is what happens with the mind when we engage it. If we don't engage it, it will be just running around all the places. But if we have a committed space to sit down and listen, the mind has an agenda and it has a clear instruction. Do not think about how you're going to respond. That's not your job. Just listen, focus, give and receive. And by engaging it, it does slow down.
Mm, mm, true. Anything else?
Well, I feel the forest calling.
You didn't introduce yourself.
It just so I actually don't like talking about myself so much. I'm going to introduce myself as a human that is passionate about human connection. And the reason I do that and keep it this short is because it is so often that we put ourselves into boxes based on our belief systems, based on our culture, based on where we grew up, based on all these aspects.
Mm.
So, actually, what we did now, this one share, it took us,
Beyond.
it took us actually beyond all these things. So, we went on for a few minutes per person. And usually, I run workshops that go on for 2 hours. And actually, the instruction is to not share about ourselves, to keep it to a minimum. You're just meeting a stranger for the first time and you're giving them your unconditional presence and listening to whatever wants to be shared in their human experience and relating to them based on that, based on the emotion, which is something common for us no matter all the things,
Mm.
and through our need, which is again something common. Everybody has their needs. So
Cool.
that's me. So if anybody of our listeners would like to go deeper into this experience, then we'll drop something for you so you can get in touch. And whether you choose to or not to get in touch, I would warmly encourage you to take this lens, take this tool of empathetic listening and try it out in life. You might be at a bus stop and just see a stranger sitting there scrolling through their phone. Just have a talk with them and just listen with empathy from a place of no agendas and truly wanting to hear what are they feeling and what is their need when they are sharing what they are feeling. Having said that, I feel done for today. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you so much for coming. I'm also complete. Yeah.
Thank you.
Until next time, until the next episode, goodbye.
Goodbye.